Today we're starting the AMT Chevrolet police van. Looks like a 73 or 74 van. I originally bought this van for the New York City police decals. So this van, I haven't decided whether it's going to be a police vehicle or an emergency vehicle, or maybe just as a regular civilian van. But I do need the decals. And just to let you guys know, in January or February 2021, Revell is going to come out with a Ford van that's supposed to be detailed, where you can lift up the roof, and the inside will have like captain's chair, a bed, oven, and I believe AMT is also going to come out with a van with some detail in the interiors for all of you guys who like to put together vans. So 2021, some new kits will be coming out with detailed interiors. So let's take a look at the box. Everything's separately bagged and it looks nice. Get some deep dish wheels, like 5-spoke chrome mag wheels. Some dog dish hubcaps. Nice Chevy grill. Air cleaner, engine parts, coil springs, even the wipers in chrome. Those are like large outside rear view mirrors. Fan blade. That looks like the braces for the outside rear view mirror. The back. Anyway, nice chrome pieces. Look at that body, separately wrapped. Looks like it comes with the option for the sunroof if you want to pop it open and make a a civilian version of a sunroof, because usually emergency vehicles don't have sunroofs. Can you see the line? So you can cut that open if you wish. Some tires. Looks like it comes with 4 regular size tires and then 2 heavy duty snow tires. Can't tell the brand, if they give you a name brand or whether it's just a generic. Steel pin, probably for the rear wheels. Glass, so you have the blue and red for the emergency lights, probably red tail lamps. Clear lenses for the windshield, and probably the round moon windows for the back if you want to make it like a customized van. Bench seats, probably for the back. Nice big floor pan. Like the separation wall if you want to build a police vehicle and separate the front from the back. Even comes with rifles. Looks like a shotgun. Some bench seats. Bucket seats. Looks like a spare tire for the back. Engine block, oil pan, and the decals. Wow, its own plastic too. I can kind of make out the decals and the instructions. So let's take a look at the instructions. Engine assembly, the wheels, gives you option. Remember, there's 6 tires, 4 regular standard ones and 1 like a heavy duty snow tire or something. Frame, chassis component. Looks like your option of spare tire, Different type of bumpers if you want. Somewhat of a interior. So that looks pretty good. So let me open up the kit so you can see it in greater detail. Let me unbag the kit. So I'm back after the unbagging the kit. So let's take a look at some of these parts in greater detail. So here's the Chevy van body. Looks nice. Looks like the side reflector. It's got the little Chevy van 30, but it's not that raised that high, so I might have problems dry brushing that. So I'll either leave it alone, or if it comes with a decal I can put it on. But the door handles look prominent enough. Door locks I can just touch up with a Molotow pen. It includes the red clear lenses, license plate, the Chevrolet in the back. So I'm thinking about cutting open the side door so you can open and maybe glue it open. And of course that's the indentation for the sunroof if you wish. I don't know what the top 4 slots are, whether that's for driving lamps or something. But anyway, the body looks nice. It's nice and big. I like how the model box is nice, and the height of the model box is much taller than a regular car to accommodate the van body. So this is the engine block, manifold, other engine parts, belts, oil pan, steering, radiator, fan shroud, the A-arms for the front lower arms, the hump that covers the engine cover for the interior, axle, suspension pieces like leaf springs, shock absorbers, bucket seats. This looks like for the custom van. If you wish to build it that way with the captain chairs, you can probably use those for the dog dish hubcaps or steely wheels, spare tire cover, steering wheel, side exhaust pipes. Here are the chrome pieces. So it looks like some kind of CB radio, side mirrors, first aid kit, because this has the cross on it. Oh, that looks like some kind of oxygen tank if you were to build an ambulance. Oh, to make the stretcher. Whip antennas, but that looks like the, for the stretcher. If you want to build an ambulance. The wheels, grill, the hubcap with a Chevrolet bow tie on them, some kind of spotlight, wipers, engine parts, valve covers. They really packaged everything separately, so I like how they took the time to do that. Some kind of rough diamond plate. That looks like the separation wall between the driver and the prisoners if you had built it as a police prisoner transport. It has guns, like a shotgun. That looks like some kind of bench seat. This is the bottom floor of the van. That's probably the engine. That's the back. That's the chassis frame. Looks like some kind of wheel ring or trim ring. Firewall. Dashboard maybe? A lot of flashing over here, but that should come off very easily. Looks like a bed for the ambulance or for the stretcher. Seat probably in the back for prisoner transport. I don't know what this hook-like plastic piece is for. Okay, and then of course the decals. Here we go. Interestingly enough, the words are written in reverse, so when you put them on the hood and the ambulance is behind you, when you read the rear mirror, the wording comes out perfect. So the wording is not in reverse. So this is the real reason why I bought this model kit, was because I needed the New York City Police Department decals so I can make my Dodge Monaco police cruiser. I need probably the small ones for the doors, and I need this white one because police car for the era I want to build were blue with white words or trim. Now they make them white with blue words and trim. So if I was to build a later version where it was white with blue police markings, this is the one I would use. But I'm making an era before that where the police cars were blue with white markings, so I would have to use these top ones. But in any event, I do need these police decals. So as far as what I have in store for this van, maybe not an ambulance, possibly a police, or maybe just a civilian version. You know, maybe I'll customize it. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. But anyway, seems interestingly enough, seems like there's a decent amount of parts as far as parts count. So from here, I'm going to be washing all the plastic parts to degrease them and then separate them by color. Haven't decided what I want to paint it or how I want to go with this model. So I'll be back. Want to show you my progress. I'm 80% done spray painting. Since I'm painting a two-tone color like on the box, it's going to require masking and multiple layers, so I have to wait like 24 to 48 hours to prevent the different paints from wrinkling. So here we are. Flat black on the chassis. The frame is actually separate from the bottom, so if you really want to customize it by painting the frame, say silver or gray, you could do so, but I glued them all together because I knew it was a municipal work police van, so I made it all one color. So that one is flat black, and I just finished using my old can, so this is a brand new can. Interior called for blue, so I don't have as many spray paints as some people because I don't have the room and I'm on a budget. So for blue, I use metallic blue because I had some leftover testers metallic blue. So here it is, kind of shiny, makes it look vinyl. Blue shock absorbers. I guess there's an aluminum bench because it calls for silver. So the separation partition, like a chain screen mesh, exhaust, leaf springs, is metallic aluminum. So pretty much I try to use as many of the basic colors as I can. So if something is silver, aluminum, gunmetal, I'll probably just use silver. And if it's blue, it's whatever I have lying around, whether it's medium blue, dark blue. So unless it's a body color that I'm really trying to duplicate. So this is gloss black. That's the seat base, engine parts, radiator shroud, front end, axles. Some I even had to hand paint. So for example, this is the oil filler neck. So I'll glue that last because I don't want it to break off. But this I pretty much hand painted because the engine block is orange and I just couldn't wait to spray paint it. So I just hand painted the orange and I assembled everything already. So, and while I'm waiting for the paint to dry, I also did the small minor ones like the battery. So you have the battery the battery top, terminals, battery caps, first aid kit, white with red cross. Some of them I'll just hand paint them later, like a drive shaft, wheel rotors, license plate frame. I'll just hand paint some of them if they're small enough or if I forget. The rear lenses, painted the backup lights, white for the backup lights. I sprayed matte clear for the chrome to dull it down. Interestingly enough, this time I did not black wash the grill with a thinned out flat black paint. I just used an ultra fine Sharpie and was able to fit between these grill lines. So that's what I did. And also the dog dish hubcaps, the black insert trim, I did it with black ultra fine Sharpies, and then I used yellow paint for the Chevy bow tie and indicator lights. So there it is. This kit, you're going to have a lot of spare parts. So for example, you could have built it as an ambulance or even as a custom van. So you'll have like mag wheels. Here's oxygen tanks, the wheels for the stretcher or gurney. So I will not be building that. So you're going to have a lot of spare parts left over. Things like the trailer hitch, call for gray. So I used some flat gray that I had lying around for my aircraft paint. Interior was Testors Model Master Sand Beige, and I just finished up using the can, so I'm happy that I'm able to use up whatever old paint I have lying around. So I finished the can. So the nozzle actually was clogging on me, so it was spraying in a weird spray pattern, so I had to hold it over the part really close and spray over the part for a very long time. So some of it came a little thick, but that's because the spray can was clogged. But here it is. Use a black Sharpie for the floor mats and the pedals. Here's the shotgun to simulate the wood handles and the pump action grip. And I'll probably paint the gun barrel like gunmetal or something. So that's the interior. And if you guys are familiar with New York City police vehicles, I believe I got the correct shade blue because it's kind of in between a light and medium blue. So that one, I couldn't use whatever blue was lying around because I didn't want to match it. I believe I did get it to match up pretty well. It's actually lighter than it appears on the camera. So while I'm waiting, again, the detailing for the dash, the instrument panels, vents, radio buttons, things like that. Okay, so then the only thing left is, of course, the car body. So I used primer for the first time because if you saw my last video on the 94 Impala, I wasn't happy with the way the paint covered the plastic. So this time I'm going to seal the plastics for any imperfections and hopefully it'll come out. So quick layer of gray primer, and of course I have to wait 24 hours or 48 hours for the coats to dry or else I'll get the wrinkling effect. So I'm going to be spraying white predominantly over this section and on the bottom underneath the trim section. Then I'll mask off the white and then spray painted blue with this NYPD color Oasis Blue. It's in satin, so it won't be as shiny, but I can either spray gloss clear coat or I'll just leave it as is. So here is the van body. I was able to cut open the sliding door. So I taped it back up for the spray painting, but this one, it's not going to be perfect, but that's all right because I'm going to glue it in the open position so you can see the inside, because it's a shame it comes with a detailed interior and a detailed engine, but you won't be able to see it. So I cut this open, and I guess at one time this model kit came with a working hood because they actually included an extra part, and one of them was a hood with hinges. So that works out. So I cut open the front hood so you'll see the engine when I'm done and the sliding door. So basically how I did the sliding door was I scored it with a modeling knife because I don't have any fancy electric tools or mini saws. Maybe if you have it, that would work out great, but I just used patience, a lot of hours. I scored the plastic along the indented lines to simulate the door opening, and then I perforated it with lots of mini holes, and using the front end of my modeling knife, I poked it kind of like a coupon or a check from a check stub. I perforated it and then gently worked into it, and I was able to cut it open. The interior is already spray painted, but I had to cover it up because I have to do the outside now. So I'll be back when I have some sub-assemblies done. Wanted to show you the detailed engine compartment before I put this doghouse cover on it from the interior. So this is what it looks like. And then when you cover it up, you're not going to see it. So even though I opened up the hood, you're only going to see the front 1/3 of the engine. So this is what it looks like before I seal it up. Alright, so the two sub-assemblies are done. This van, not like a typical car, it doesn't have an interior tub or frame or anything like that. So basically the one frame that it has, everything gets attached to it. So the interior sits right on top of it. Unfortunately, the mesh screen I wish was see-through or fine mesh, but it's not. It's a solid plastic piece. I assume the aluminum seat is for the prisoners, and the padded is possibly for the police escort or the police guarding them. So that's what the interior looks like. Driver and passenger seat with the shotgun, the radio, dash, steering wheel, floor mats. The detailed engine is of course covered by the doghouse cover. You can see a little bit peeking from the front. And of course the bottom is the frame undercarriage chassis. So that's done. And of course the body, I was able to remove the side door, did the molding, the door handles, did my best to replicate the Chevy Van 30 emblem on the side. There's a two-tone paint. I'm going to hold off putting all the other small details once I mount the body onto the chassis, because I don't want it falling off like the mirrors and stuff. I could probably do the wipers. Here's underneath. That's the first aid kit. The rear view mirror. That's a sunroof which will not be used. So that's where I am now. So I'll be back when everything is assembled. All right, so the Chevy van is 95% complete. The only thing that's missing is the radio whip antenna, and of course the police lights and siren. But I wanted to show you in case you want to do a custom van or a privately owned or commercial van before I put the NYPD decals on. So this is what it looks like in two-tone paint. So it's a good thing that I did cut open the sliding door, because it might as well be a curbside kit if I didn't do it, because although the engine detail you can see slightly from the bottom, you don't see the interior detail unless you open up the hood. So let's do that right now. So that's the engine detail, not much you can see. And the sliding door. So I opted not to install the step-up bumper, the step bumper, which makes transporting prisoners or passengers easier because they can use it as a step, because it just looks so oversized and out of proportion. So I just put the chrome bumper on, which enabled me to put the trailer hitch on with the chrome chrome trailer ball. Alright, so I'll be back after I put the decals and the whip antenna. Here's the finished product. There's nothing spectacular about the model kit, but it is a good addition if you are building a bunch of police vehicles. I mean, it's a utility vehicle used to transport prisoners. But it has a special interest to me because I live in New York City, so I do need the decals, and it just looked cool to have a van. So the decal I used was actually the largest one they had on the decal sheet, because I do need the smaller ones for my future builds of the squad cars. So that's why this decal is a little bit oversized. They do have smaller ones, but I'm going to save them for my future New York City squad car builds. The good thing about this kit is that it gives you the option of a custom van, a ambulance, or fire rescue. So you do have a lot of parts left over, like the stretchers. Actually, it came with 2 more sirens. 2 more lights. You can actually put up to like maybe 8 lights or something. They just came with a lot of extra parts. I didn't put in the sirens or the spotlights or anything like that. So you're going to end up with a lot of spare parts. The tooling is old because there's a lot of flashing, and also there's not a lot of locator holes or tabs to help you in the location of gluing the parts. So you're going to have to eyeball a lot of the assembly. So that's why I would think that you would probably need something between intermediate and slightly above intermediate to assemble this model. So for example, the front end was it had a lot of parts to it, and it didn't even justify that because it's not like the front wheels had workable steering. I mean, they were posables, but you would have to glue them in that position. So I ended up gluing them straight, but it's not like they had a tie rod that actually facilitated it so it would be a workable steering. So it's just posable, but it just had too many parts for the front end, so that was kind of intricate. But it does come with the glass, so I cracked it and only put in the quarter glass for the driver's side, and the passenger side I put in the full glass. You actually don't even have to put in assembled interior of the back if you don't want to, or if you're not going to be cutting open, because once you seal it up, no one's going to see the inside anyway. Same thing with the engine. You probably don't even need to assemble the valve covers, carbs, air cleaner, oil filler tube, battery, because no one's going to see it unless you're going to open up the hood like I did. There's a piece of flashing here you can see on the windshield wiper, but I couldn't get rid of it because it started to crack when I tried to trim it, so I just left it. So overall, I mean, I'm glad I put it together. It's something different. So if you're looking for something out of the ordinary to assemble, this is a good candidate. Things like the rear window, from far away, it does look like a window, but it's actually just decal. It would have been nice if they gave you like some kind of steel metal mesh to simulate the screen window, but as you can tell from the interior, no light is shining through, so that's how you can tell it's just a decal. So overall, the paint job came out great actually. That's why I always like satin paints, because they seem to have good coverage and you don't have to worry about like glossy paint where all the imperfections show. So I'm pleased with the paint job. I think that's all I have to say about this kit. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will include stills at the end of this video. Thanks for watching. I also wanted to add that in 2021, AMT, I believe it's AMT, came out with the Surfer van. So it's a Ford van with Surfer themed decals and with the racks on the top to hold the surfboards. But I'm looking to February, because I think that's when Revell will be issuing their 75 or 76 Chevy van, and that one is supposed to be the one with the detailed interior. So you can lift off the top and you can view the interior from the top, and the interior is supposed to be detailed with like a bed, captain's chair, TV, and other accommodations. So that should be a good kit. So be on the lookout for that Revell 75, 76 Chevy van, which I believe is a reissue. Don't know if they tightened up the tooling or anything like that. But if you guys are into vans, February 2021, Revell, they're going to be coming out with that Chevy custom van. Okay, that's it for now.